Well, the day I was 18, I went to the draft office there in Lancaster, Texas, and volunteered. And I was, they sent us to Fort Sill for 27 weeks basic training, and I was on the 105 howitzer, and that was a lot of fun. But they didn't need a lot of artillerymen. They already had all the artillery they needed in Europe, so they gave us advanced infantry training, and they signed us. I was assigned to the 75th Infantry Division, and we went right to Europe and right up to Belgium, where the Battle of the Bulge was what they called it. The Germans were trying to come down to Antwerp so they could get to the sea, and General Eisenhower put 4 divisions of us like this, and that was the so-called Bulge. And when the Germans got there, we stopped them. 4 divisions of us stopped them. And after that, we were right on their tail the rest of the time. They'd go into a little place, and they'd bring the Tiger tanks out, and we'd come back, and then during the night they'd go to the next town. 5 o'clock in the morning we'd jump off and go again. And then that was over with. We went down to Colmar in southern France, which was in the past known as Alsace-Lorraine. Colmar was the capital, and the Germans still had control of it. So we went down there, and let's see, the 75th Division I was in, and the 3rd Division at, let's see, I can't think of the man's name right at the minute. They say he was the most highly decorated American soldier for a lot of years.
Murphy? Audie Murphy?
Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy was in the 3rd Infantry. He was over here somewhere, and we were here in the middle, and 24th, I believe it was 24th or 42 was over here, and we ran them out of Colmar, and then by then it was beginning to thaw up. But when we was in Belgium, it was the coldest winter in Europe for, they said, 50 years. And our feet froze up because we didn't have adequate, and later we got these rubber boots, and mine were too big, and I rubbed blisters on my feet. And when Colmar was over, they said, all you guys come over here, anybody needs to go to the hospital, fall out over here. But first, they pinned this combat infantry badge on us. That was February the 4th, 1945. That was my 19th birthday when I got the combat infantry badge. Anyhow,
and that's helping
so
really.
They sent me to the hospital, and then later on they sent me to the hospital down in Marseille, France. And then I got sent home and got a medical discharge, which is an honorary discharge. And in 2 battles, they awarded me 2 Bronze Stars, and the French ordered me the Medal of Honor. That was a medal that Napoleon started years ago. So I had a really wonderful experience, and I'm glad that I could take a part in it. Well, I think I was home a good 2 months, probably before I realized I was even back in the United States. and when we were in let's see, we came into Mississippi, and when we were going on a train from to going to the hospital. We were on a train, and the train was going real slow, and people out watching the train go by, and somebody said, "Who's ahead?" And they said, "That's President Roosevelt. They're taking his body back to Washington." So I was on the train right behind him. So I'm proud that I could be a part of American history. Well, at some point later, I was in a ceremony. The French embassy is in Houston. They have one in Houston and Washington, D.C. And they presented the Medal of Honor to 7 of us, and we were all from different branches of the government, but we had done something to aid France during the war. I'm glad I could do something to help my country.